y'all. Welcome. It is another day of fun podcast with Jonny and Haleigh, and our friend is here again, Bob Hansen, commander of the Bob Squad. Hey, yo.
Hello there. What's everybody doing? Saying stuff, rubbing elbows, greasing palms, schmoozing, networking. What do you say? What do you know? Tip the wheel, try the waitress. Some weather we're having. Hello, everybody. Hi, Jonny, Haleigh.
How's it going?
I can't complain, Denny.
No, you can't, because who would listen if we did, right?
Absolutely.
I'm so excited to have us back, y'all. It's been a hot minute since we've had a day of fun podcast. Jonny boy, it's been a hot minute since I've even gotten to catch up with you. So I'm just so excited to hang out with two of my favorite boys. What's up, y'all? What's shaking? Guess what? Today I have my big
Sasquatch hat.
Now, y'all, Bernie, my character Bernie, she does love all things weird, and Jonny is accustomed to my bringing up weirdness. So, Bob Squad, you may have to pull out some jokes about Bigfoot or cryptids or Mothman. Or what you got for me over there? How you feel about them weird paranormal things?
I don't have any jokes prepared on them, but I haven't talked to them lately. I'm sure they're out there. And you know what I think is important?
Bigfoot just never calls back, does he?
No, they're terrible. They're terrible at returning the text. I think it's the abominable thumbs. But
the abominable thumbs.
I think as long as they believe in themselves, it really doesn't matter what we think. So they'll be okay.
Isn't that just such a wonderful message? And I do think that's true. Bigfoot doesn't need any of us to believe in Bigfoot. Bigfoot believes in Bigfoot. Bob Squad with the inspiration right out of the gate. Do we expect any less? No, we do not.
You know what it is? I help people. That's what I help people.
That is absolutely true. Laughter's the best medicine. I love it. Jonny boy, tell us too. What's up with you? How you doing? Where are you at in the weird?
No text back from Bigfoot, so I'm still waiting on that.
Man, what do we gotta do? What kind of rinse face do you have to give Bigfoot to get some attention over here in this dimension?
But I don't know. Unfortunately, we got about 4 inches of snow, and we're back into the frozen tundra. So yeah.
Oh, so
what's been happening in my neck of the woods?
So sorry to hear that. Actually,
I live where I live. It's coming, if you like it or not.
I forget, John. Are you not in? You're in Canada or one of those?
Well, I'm in. Pretty much.
Almost in Canada.
Yeah, you might as well say Canada.
You were up there north, if I remember.
Yeah, I'm in North Dakota. I live in
North Dakota.
Yep.
Oh, that was actually way too easy. That if there were multiple choice, that would have been the obviously not answer because it was too easy from Haleigh to South Dakota.
Well, a lot of people.
I like the easy button.
Be South Canada, but
South Canada,
our statehood as long as we can.
I think you should suggest that South Canada and South Dakota can be like just further South Canada or something. We can be like the third circle of hell. Right? As you come down. Is that how it would work, do you suppose? I imagine that's probably how a lot of folks feel about America around the world. Not that we want to get into that. Oopsie.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we live here because it's cheap rent and no one really else wants to live here. So why not?
Nobody else is here. We may as well take it.
What can be wrong with it? That's like the version of the New York City subway car. It's like if they're all full and one of them's empty, and new people to the city. Well, this is amazing. I'll get on that empty car. There is a reason no one is in the empty car.
Why?
It's usually in a bodily fluid form. There's a reason no one, if it's rush hour or whatever, and there's every single car is jammed with bodies, then the next one is empty. There's a reason, and it'll probably not be pleasant to your olfactory senses. And I don't think the new factory is going to like it much either.
The new factory won't like it either. Bob Squad, I can't wait for you to have your own edutainment content about transport in New York City. You're going to be like the new face of tourism for cities, okay? We need Bob Hansen to be the guy who's giving the tips to the tourists local style, but the things that are maybe you don't want to know about this, but hot tip, y'all. Don't get on the empty train car if it's rush hour.
I don't think I'd be too good at that. I'm a guy who goes to a different city and just visits their Target.
Right.
Oh, you could talk about Target. I mean, I would listen to that edutainment content from Bob Hansen.
Targets in Charlotte, Targets in Greenville. I'll tell you about their Targets. There's Targets. The Targets in Austin. I've been all the Targets.
Target.
Yes, that's what the soccer moms they call it.
We like to feel fancy. Not that I'm a soccer mom, but it
Yeah.
does feel fancier. Target.
So what city has the best Target?
Ooh.
I'm biased to my own. I think
Oh, yeah?
I think San Diego, America's finest city, has America's finest Targets.
Well, it would make sense that would be the case.
I was just at my nearest Target the other day. I was looking at buttocks. Don't judge me. You don't know where I've been. Well, you do know where I've been. I've been at Target looking at buttocks.
Yep.
No, because it's not my
Target
fault.
all across the country.
It's not my fault. Like everyone's like, if half of them are in pajamas, I feel like I'm crashing a slumber party. Like I feel like I need to call the cops on myself for being at my nearest Target location, trying to get good deals at great prices with friendly customer service. And the rest is all yoga pants. It's just so many yoga pants.
It's yoga pants. Well, I mean,
what is
it's
happening?
all about comfort. That's what it is.
Yeah.
There's got to be what is happening I don't know what's happening at the nearest yoga class to this location, but I don't think they're finishing the class.
Yeah, I don't think most of those people have ever seen a yoga class.
No, I think they're skipping. They're at very least they're skipping the meditation. They're like, all right, roll up one vertebrae at a time, fold your hand to your third eye center, and head to your nearest Target location. It's the holiday season. We have amazing Black Friday deals all week.
I think you just opened yourself a yoga studio just right there. You just need a little yoga, like a pop-up yoga shop right next to the Starbucks and Target. We're going to have like the Target stuff and then their little Starbucks. And then you're going to have meditations with Bob Hansen before you go Target shopping.
I haven't looked into it, but I wonder how many yoga pants they're selling at Target just to keep this scheme going. People are self-checkout on yoga pants, just turning around, shaking their derrieres. They're checking themselves out in the Target. They're
see,
I don't understand.
I think
my thing is like I never would have guessed that yoga pants and UGG boots would be a fashion statement in 2024, but apparently that's what
statement. The statement is, stay away from that pervert on the pet food aisle. I guess that's. I think I have to. You know what? I think I have to make them feel like better and less insecure. I just have to like. I think I have to go to Target and like assless chaps or something. I think.
I mean,
it's trend.
You can't do it at Sturgis anymore here in South Dakota. I know they banned that, so you got to do it somewhere. It may as well be at the finest Target.
I wouldn't even make it have the shopping cart kid in the orange vest. He'd be like, "Why don't you take your act over to Walmart there, you dirty freak?"
Because over at Walmart they'd accept it.
Oh, good. It would be mandatory.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you just say Sturgis banned assless chaps?
Yeah, is that not still true? The last time I checked,
not the first I'm hearing of it. I was going to say, was that on the ballot when you were voting or something?
I know. I don't watch the news anymore. It's terrifying to me.
Oh, that's the first I've heard of it. I didn't know.
I assume you could still wear them over like jeans. Isn't that the usual?
Yes, maybe it was. Maybe there was a yoga pants situation with some of the assless chaps, and so they had to listen. I don't know. We've got a special kind of governor, but again, we don't want to get into that. I have to check out some of them Sioux Falls Targets. Yeah, you do. You got to come hang out with us. I'll be the one on a little kitty bike with a cowgirl hat, and
hell yeah.
I was going to say all one of them.
We might have two.
Do you guys have two? We only have one.
I was going to say, I think there's. That's another question. Do you have competing Targets in your fine city?
Oh, good God. Yeah. I can think of 3 alone within a 2-mile radius.
Are there Targets that we should be avoiding for, again, tourism's sake? Bob Hansen, our new tourism leader for the state of California.
As a general rule, I say don't go to any Target without a parking lot.
That's fair. All right.
It shouldn't be treated like some other store in some city. The parking lot is part of the Target experience.
Well, you do have to have the opportunity to run into all of those big red carts with your car or have one.
It's got to be an outdoor one. I don't want none of these parking structures. I don't like structures. No. I want a lot. Structures. I want a big open concrete field. And if it's sunny, I want your car to get too hot and you just deal with it.
Mm-hmm. And you just deal with it and let whatever plastic things you happen to have left in there melt.
And that's what happens. And right now we're in our winter season here. So it's like sometimes it'll get below 60. And we're doing our best. I didn't break out the snow tires yet.
Mm-hmm. Not yet.
Yeah.
Where
the problems we have in our Target parking lots at the moment are they're all snow covered, so you can't see the lines. So one car will be like this, one car will be like this.
It would make me reconsider going to Target.
It's kind of every man for himself.
Well, I was gonna say Johnny Boy's weather makes everyone reconsider going anywhere. That's
it's so weird. Even South Dakota going that far, it's such a gradual change. Like, or it just changes it up so much. Like, because you guys get a lot. Do you guys even get a lot of snow?
We didn't have any snow yet, so don't. We do not speak of it until it's here and in our face. We pretend that it does not exist.
4 inches. We were supposed to get like 12, so I'll take 4.
But I know who wants to take the low hanging fruit on that joke. Who wants to grab that one?
That's okay.
Cheers to you over there.
Always does. This is my Brita water bottle. If you're wondering what this is, by the way,
classy.
Very classy. I love it. Staying hydrated, clean style. Well done.
Staying dehydrated all night long, Daddy. It prevents fatigue and headaches. Yeah, and it took me like an hour to figure out how to work a water bottle, which is where I'm at in this stage of the game. I need some right now.
I hung LED strips in my bedroom the other day, and that made me feel stupid. So it doesn't take much nowadays.
My goodness. It's complicated. There's a button and it's a whole thing. I was trying to get away from the micro. I was trying to get away from the microplastics. I was just like sucking down like bottled plastic bottles of water for like a couple of years now. And I was like, I got to stop doing this. So I got one of these things and I figure, well, this is a worthwhile. I think, unfortunately, I'm drinking less water now that I have this bottle though.
Because it's complicated. Now it's become mature.
Yeah. I can't just take the bottle, and open the thing like our forefathers fought for, by the way, and yada, yada, yada. And then, chuck it in the bag. Now I got this whole gimmick and it's got a handle, which is nice, but then there's a button and bam, right there, Daddy. And then you have to have the right angle because if I go too high, it's going to spill and then I have a drinking problem. LOL, airplane.
LOL, airplane. I think what we need is for you to invent a more user-friendly, if you will, right? Water bottle situation. Why does it involve
me doing more work?
Well, because I'm just the idea person here, Bob Squad. That's what it is. I do the idea things. And you all just take it and run. That's why you have to start the charcuterie board, the store that we were going to start your whole life. That's why we got to start Genital Heads, the horror film franchise. Johnny Boy, you weren't here for that, but we have a whole horror film franchise that he's got to take it and run now.
I think the first time we had him on, we were talking about Ouija board charcuterie boards.
Yes, that's what it was.
About that, yeah.
And I still think it's a brilliant idea. I mean, I want to go ghost hunting with snacks. Who doesn't?
Yeah. Oh my God. Salted meats. Who wouldn't love a good? I'd be so much less scared of the old abandoned mental hospital or wherever if we could just have just a little bit of salted meat.
Who doesn't love salted meats and some crackers and some cheeses and some grapes?
Okay, we're sleeping in a prison where the inmates were tortured and left to die. But you know what? We've got cured salami.
And doesn't that just make all things right with the world?
I should, and I think the ghost should lighten up. I got Gouda here, okay?
Y'all. We have baked brie. You gotta want to come and hang out with us and be chill times.
The other day, I heard somebody had an idea to open a daycare next to a strip club. I was like, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Amazing idea.
Listen, convenience reigns, right? You can sell convenience pretty easily, so go for it.
That was a West Coast comic, George Perez. I don't know if you know who he is.
I don't. Shit. I was thinking of George Lopez. That's why he's very famous. Yeah, I guess not. I don't know. They all blend together.
I'm sure there's a lot of them.
I'm all out of sorts. I spent the whole morning doing my Christmas decorations.
I see that your mask back there has become Santa. Very good. I dig it. I'm about it.
That's my Cobra Commander helmet Santa Claus Christmas decoration. And it took 1 second to decorate. I lied. It's that's all.
Guess what? Good enough for me. I think it's great. Okay.
Be as festive as you want to be, I guess.
Be as festive as you want to be. I think we have done this conversation before, Johnny, on the podcast generally for us. But let's go with some Bob Hansen, tell us some of your favorite holiday movies or things that you like to treat yourself with during the holidays.
You know, I do love the original Gremlins from 1984, starring Phoebe Cates and the other guy.
I love Phoebe Cates so much, and I'm so glad you selected Gremlins as a holiday movie.
It doesn't
that
get
makes
enough
me
love.
happy. No, it does not.
And I should say this. I don't throw this around a lot. I don't like hyperbole, but arguably the greatest film ever made.
Arguably the greatest film ever made, until we start our own franchise, of course.
Of course, and I actually, and I you know, there is an argument to be made because I actually like Gremlins 2 better. I think it's a more fun, but it can't exist without Gremlins. So it's like 6 of one, 6 of the other. I think they say. I think that's the expression.
It's been so long since I've seen Gremlins. I need to watch that again.
I haven't watched in a bit, but probably in a year. But yeah, no, I like that. You know what I think it is? I'll just tell you, it goes faster that way. I think it's Gremlins is a thing, at least at the time of this recording, and we are live. We're alive and live in color, Daddy. I think we are.
We are live and living color.
Right now, the live, Gremlins has not been remade or rebooted or soft rebooted or hard boiled in any form or fashion.
Hasn't been poached.
All right, it hasn't been poached. No one's scrambling to poach any more Gremlins. There's merch flying around. There's always nostalgic merch, but there's no movie or TV show or blah blah blah. This week on on HBO Max, which is just Max, but we call it HBO Max, so we know what we're talking about. Once a week, we give you a new hour of dirty and gritty Gremlins cursing all the time for some reason. Or, they haven't done that yet.
That's interesting. Let's not call that in, because they do remake a lot of my favorite things from childhood, and then I get upset. Like, leave it alone. I haven't watched the second Beetlejuice yet, although I have heard good things, and I love Beetlejuice original with all of my tiny little heart.
I watched it in theaters. I don't throw this around a lot, but arguably the greatest film ever made.
Arguably,
you make an argument. And the best part of any film right now, especially at AMC Movie Theater, sign up and download your AMC app today and get great deals on snacks. You can order them in advance. But Nicole Kidman, the popular actress, is there in all the AMC theaters beforehand, telling us there's a certain magic about this place, and the sounds sound powerful, and the stories sound real, and the heroes bring out the best part of all of us, because here they are. AMC, we make movies better.
How is it that you haven't been hired for all the commercials ever?
I don't understand. Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero never got back to me.
Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero needs to get back to you, because that white picket fence and you and who was it going to be? Cindy Crawford?
Oh, Cindy Crawford. Yeah, we never did I never got to remake the Pepsi commercial with Cindy Crawford.
Cindy Crawford. Where's she at? We got to get her on board so that we can.
I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what Nicole Kidman is doing.
We can get her. You can get with Nicole Kidman for the AMC intros, because obviously you got those down and memorized already.
That would be great if she sits down. If it's the same ad that you see, but she sits down, but this time I'm like 2 seats away from her, just munching on pretzel bites, just dipping them in the cheese, and she's got, I think she's Australian. I don't know if she's British half the time. Nobody knows anymore.
Nobody knows.
And blah blah, and magic and stories, and the stories sound powerful, and the heroes, and the da 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 da, because here they are. And I'm just like, or loudly like slurping the Coca-Cola at the end,
just crunching on some popcorn.
That whole gimmick. That'll be great. And then she's like not looking at the camera. She's somewhat off in a distance, but I'm looking directly at the camera with a big thumbs up. Like,
maybe she gets mad at you at the end of it for like interrupting her set, and just grabs your popcorn and dumps it on your head. And
dump the popcorn on my head, smack me in the face. Hilarious.
No, I was gonna say, go back to some of your old like wrestling days, but like instead of getting hit with chairs, you get hit with popcorn. Much less violent, right?
No, she dumps the thing, or maybe it's like, because sometimes they have them reclining chair gimmicks. She reaches down, pulls my lever, LOL, and then I fly backwards, and my feet fly in the air, which you really can't do. But we'll rig the thing.
There you go.
Rig the thing, and my feet fly upwards, yada yada yada, and the kid man goes off, and everyone has a big laugh. And then we watch the new Venom or something. I don't know what's out right now.
Well, then we watch the not remake of the Gremlins, because apparently they don't get to touch that one. Now I'm starting to wonder, are there remakes of any of the like Phoebe Cates movies? I'm trying to think when we were talking reboots. Because I love Phoebe Cates, and I wonder if she's just got some witchy magic about her that prevents anyone from rebooting any of her movies.
I don't know many things she's in. I know she's got obviously the red bikini scene in was it the Ridgemont High?
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, yep. And
Did they make that movie yet?
no,
I
I
don't
don't.
think
No, I
It's
don't
an
think that's what.
unmodern version?
Well, there's
No.
so many other sort of
Well, I
high
mean,
school movie versions.
I mean,
They-
literal, yeah.
yeah, they haven't, but yet they have. I mean, they made a lot of dumb teenage
Right. But
movies.
there's no, like, it's not actually called that because then they got to
No.
get her to do the cameo or whatever, which is hilarious.
Mhm.
She's got the same scene too. That would be awesome.
I mean, why not? I think that would be fun. And then bring Dolly Parton in there somehow, some way, for some reason, wearing her awesome rad stuff.
Is she
You
in
know.
that film?
No,
I-
I'm just saying, like, Dolly Parton being like the queen of wearing things that people think are inappropriate for her age, but she can rock that kind of outfit
goodness.
still. So good for her.
She makes it work. I don't know what's holding her together, but no one's redone Alf. No one's brought Alf back, and that's
No
amazing.
one's redone Alf. We don't have Mork and Mindy 2.0 anywhere, I don't think.
There's no more. Well, they probably won't because of Robin Williams, whatever, and yada yada yada. And whoever the hell played Mindy. Boy, if you, I don't know who played Mindy, but she must feel like second banana if she's still kicking.
That's a good thing. Let's go find
Who
out.
the hell was Mindy?
Mork and Mindy.
Yeah.
Who was Mindy? Who played Mindy?
I bet that was Mindy's big break in her mind.
Pam Dauber.
Yeah, well, Pam Zauber.
Dauber. Here, I'll pull it
Dauber.
up on. Let me bring up here. This is the part where I get to share my screen and fun times with everybody. This is where my ADHD really gets to thrive. Here we go.
Have they kind
Mindy.
of pumped the brakes recently on the remakes? Because I mean, of course they're going to do all the Marvel and all those movies, but like they were going like crazy with the remakes.
I think it's
For a
like
while,
anything.
but-
Might busted buzz.
Here
Yeah,
we
ever-
go. Here she is. Here's Mindy. Why
Yeah,
do
we
I
didn't
know?
recognize her anyway?
Yes. Well, see, look at she looks fabulous in a
Yeah.
bathing suit, though. Good for her. See
Oh,
again.
there you go.
There you go.
Huh.
Well, now we just need to find. What else can we look up here for you, then, Bob Squad? While we're doing some.
I don't know, but I
research?
just saw like the line. I'm so devastated. So that means until Robin Williams died in 2014, no one had spoken to her for any reason. That's what that means. That 30, 40 years went by.
sad.
Because really, like, when else was nobody was hunting down Mindy? There's a Robin Williams Dark Side of Comedy thing on Hulu, which I think was original on something AX something TV, blah blah blah, one of them channels. And I don't have the cable. I just have the Hulu with limited commercial interruption for all my favorite television shows and yada yada yada. But
Bob Squad, we've got questions for you.
okay, well I'll definitely answer a question about Australia, which I've never been to momentarily. But yeah, no one's talking. Yeah, that means 40 years went by. No one was like, "Hey, Mindy, what do you think?" And then she had to tell him, "My name's not Mindy. You psycho."
Well, maybe maybe she was just hiding out and being like, "Don't worry, though." She was feeling her again, that like witchy oracle vibes of like they'll come to me. They'll come to me in the woods when they need to.
I was gonna say maybe that's why she never got rediscovered. They kept trying to call Mindy, and they're like, "Where is this chick?"
Yeah. She was on planet Melmac was where Alf was from. Alf was the other one. There's like no one just pulled the trigger on the CGI Alf, even though it would be terrible. We'd all watch it.
Even though it would be terrible, we would all watch it. Maybe
It's
Mindy,
CGI.
maybe like Mork and Mindy 2.0 is just Mindy and Alf, and they've absconded off to some other planet, right? And like we go find where Mindy has been. Mindy's been hanging out on this other planet with Alf, just chilling. And being like, nah, y'all on Earth got a little bit too wild and crazy for us, so we decided we would bounce.
Well, Alf gets top billing though, because I mean, sorry, Mindy, but like we don't. The sad thing is,
Alf gets top billing. Valid.
Because you can do the Pamela, what's her name, cameo. But the sad thing is, when she does her little, Sigourney Weaver's "I'm sticking my head into Ghostbusters" moment or whatever the hell, no one's going to notice because they're going to go, "Who is that weird?" Nobody's going to go, "Oh my God, clearly that's Mindy." No, it's over.
Right.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Someone had a question from Australia. I don't want to be rude.
Yeah.
You're not. No, we're asking about, have you visited? So if you haven't, would you ride a kangaroo if you did? Bob Squad, I would love to see you ride a kangaroo.
Well, first things first. I'd have to get used to all those extra vowels.
All those extra vowels. You don't. That's too. Is kangaroo too many vowels for you?
No, I saw it in favorite with the extra U, and I'm like, I know it's not wrong because that's how you spell it. Actually,
well, that's kind of like how America also drives on the wrong side of the road to the rest of the world. We
and it really
don't
just
have the
lazy
same
Americans
letters.
were like, listen, we can't get rid of all those vowels. We got to take the vowels out so we can put the calories.
We're too high powered. We're too fast paced. We can't have that many vowels going on.
Would I ride a kangaroo?
Difficult.
Are you supposed to ride a kangaroo? I've never seen anyone on the back of a kangaroo.
I think it's kind of like a grizzly bear complex that we have. That they're
terrible idea,
cuddly, but they'll beat the shit out of you.
Idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They'll when they kick. I don't imagine it feels good.
No.
They're now okay, but here's the question:
dangerous.
like,
I've seen videos of your homeland. With 2 foot wide spiders and whatnot. No, I'm afraid of your island. Or whatever.
I'm afraid of your island.
Wherever.
Oh, I'm terrified of Australia. It's like everywhere you look, there's death.
Oh my god!
Those weaver spiders or whatever
that's
The
horrific.
funnel web spiders.
Trees. Oh man, get out of here! I'd burn my house down if one of those were in it. There's spiders in Australia that will like put their webs.
Okay, well, guess what? Now we're gonna here we go.
Yeah. It basically looks like you're spraying it with like fake snow. It's
so
crazy.
This is one of the first things that comes up. Wow, scary Australian animals. Oh, good Lord. Man. Okay, guess what? We're all gonna get terrified now.
Spiders?
There you go.
Oh yeah, there it is.
What is happening over here though?
Australia is the land of nope.
That's wow. Australia, that's too big of a spider, but like, what's this guy hanging out on the wall here?
Is that a crocodile?
No, I don't know, but see, but
they got toilet spiders. I don't want to see that.
This little dude is cute, though.
I'm sure he's pretty. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things trying to kill it.
Yeah,
I mean, some of it's not so bad, but
oh yeah, no.
There we go. See, now these aren't so bad, but. I know crocodiles. Here. There we go. Bob Squad. Scariest animal. What is the scariest animal?
Oh, the crocodile or the alligator? No, I can't tell the difference, and I don't care.
No, I can't tell the difference. They are terrifying.
Yeah, damn things. They got no soul. They were there before the dinosaurs. Somehow they stuck around after. The asteroids couldn't kill them. They're like the 8th or 9th most scary thing about Florida. Yikes.
I mean, Florida man headlines are the scariest thing about Florida, right?
Sweet mother of pearl. No, I hate those things. I don't want to go anywhere near a crocodile or alligator again. Don't care the difference. Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
They all have mouths too big for me to be comfortable with. Stay away from me and my dog.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
My thing, probably the scariest animal I think is Komodo dragons. Just because it'll just bite your leg and follow you around for 3 days and wait for you to die, basically eat you alive as you get paralyzed. I'm good. Komodo dragons are terrifying.
I don't. Yeah, this is interesting. I went to look up a Komodo dragon, Johnny boy, and this is how I know that you and I have recently had a conversation. Is that one of the first things that comes up is Komodo dragon versus black mamba.
Oh man!
And so again. These are the things that come. What is this? Here we go. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm all about that kind of AI.
But that's like a dinosaur. That's not a Komodo dragon.
No, this is. Oh, here we go. There's your Komodo dragon friend.
God.
I don't like dinosaurs either. I'm afraid of them.
You're afraid of chickens or dinosaurs.
Well, that's the problem. Yeah, I don't like that. I think the best defense is a good offense. That's why I eat so many chicken tenders.
Is that what it is? Oh, that's fabulous plan. I'm for it.
Yeah, I think if you look at go ahead.
Pigs are too smart. That's why I don't eat beef or pork because I think the pigs are too smart and cows are too stupid to kill. Like I feel guilt on both levels, but chickens. Give me chicken right now, I'll bite its head off. I don't care. Because they're like 2 chromosomes away from being a T-Rex, and we're just pumping them full of steroids. Like nothing. Like what if no one has a bad day? No, we can't afford that. That's why you know how the first Jurassic Park, the villain is dressed like the KFC guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. Look at now we've got investigative journalist detective Bob Hansen. That's what you got to start doing. I think
I'm Bob Hansen.
There you go. You got to start doing the detective work on this one. There is a connection between
Tired of
KFC and
lies.
Jurassic Park. We got to
Tired
put
of lies.
we got to put the dots together like Charlie on Always Sunny in Philadelphia with all the like red strings and the dots all over the wall.
I've never seen the show, but I think it's a popular like meme or GIF or something like that. Is it not?
It is, and
Hello.
it's something that I resonate with. I feel like that's me all day, every day,
That's
just
you.
trying to put all the information together on the wall like a psycho person.
You're all over the place.
I am, but you know what? It's fun for me because it keeps me on my toes.
I can dig it.
I think you need to make a series of Bob Hansen Crocodile Hunter, and then just have you 200 yards away from his body of water.
Yeah.
Crocodiles over there just pointing at it.
I'd be in an armored tank, headed the opposite direction.
Right.
Like, forget it.
The crocodile like fleer where you're just running away from crocodiles. Or you could do like see, you need to now get a crocodile outfit for one of your dogs. Would either of them
No, I'm not doing that to my doggies. They got cowboy hats though. They do have matching cowboy hats and bandanas.
Well, then they can go with you. Okay, then Bob Hansen does a cattle drive city slicker style, and then you get your cowboy dogs to go along with you. There we go. That's your new series.
There's gotta be like the Sci-Fi Network has all those like those Sharknado type movies. They have all those terrible CGI sci-fi movies. This animal versus that animal, and yada yada yada. I know there's a handful of them with crocodiles versus whatever, sharks or something.
Oh yeah.
There's there's definitely one giant crocodile versus giant shark one. I haven't seen it. And without seeing it, I don't want to jump the gun. Maybe it's arguably the greatest film ever made. I don't really know.
It very well could be. I mean, if you don't watch all the Sharknado movies, you never know which one.
Side of anything else.
Those straight to DVD classics.
Yes. Digital video disc. It's a popular physical media form. There's no time to explain.
Exactly.
There's no time to explain. No time.
Right.
Sorry, Johnny boy. I think I interrupted you before.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, we have terrifying things too. Like everyone thinks buffalo around here are like cute and cuddly and stuff like that. That thing will gore you to death. You know what I mean? It's like you always see.
Yeah, don't get in their face.
Well, you always see people in like Yellowstone trying to approach a bear. It's like, what do you think's gonna happen?
Somebody joined the military time. That's amazing.
1800.
1833.
Wow.
Omni's here hanging out. There's Johnny boy. That's a thing that I think we forgot to do for Bob Squad is a little bit of like your research. Back to the detective research journalism. No, Johnny boy was looking up Bob Squad. Do we get to know your birthday so that we can find out what famous people share your birthday or died on your birthday?
I could tell you right away. It's February 22nd. And it's the same birthday as George Washington, one of our founding fathers.
Well, look at you.
How about that? Now, let me ask you this question: since I set myself up, and you're in one of the more southern of the Dakotas, who is on your Mount Rushmore of presidents?
Who is on? You are Bob Squad. In your George Washington form, you are. On Mount Rushmore. Now we need to redo Mount Rushmore, George Washington to be Bob Hansen. And who are the other ones that get to hang out with you?
I don't know. Since there's already a Mount Rushmore with, I think at least 3 of them are presidents. I just think it's funny that's a question. That's a question people ask one another. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of this, and there's literally a Mount Rushmore of it's set. You have one with it's Lincoln, Jefferson, Washington, and Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
Okay. I think so. It is. It is 4. Then I was wrong. There's 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore.
Yes, there are 4.
But if I could have a different Mount Rushmore, maybe in another one of the Dakotas or something, I would also include just an 80s icon Mount Rushmore of, I think, Mr. T, Elvira, Sergeant Slaughter, and maybe Hulk Hogan. No,
maybe Hulk Hogan.
No, I don't want to say Hogan. I changed my mind. Slaughter, Elvira, Pee Wee Herman.
And Pee Wee Herman. Okay. I can dig it. I love that you put Elvira on a Mount Rushmore. I think.
Oh God, yeah, she's an icon. Yeah.
Is she not an icon and still looks fantastic? I do love Elvira.
I'd like to meet her.
How do we get that started?
I don't know. I don't know what we do.
Maybe Elvira could be in a commercial with you instead. Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero. We need to have an Elvira and Bob Hansen commercial that we need to make now.
In a
And we will
heartbeat, I would be there.
And
Just have her.
we'll use the charcuterie boards, the Ouija charcuterie boards for the snack time.
Obviously the spooky gimmick, she'd be selling that. Yeah, be good.
Just have her like staring at you as you walk up in a white tank top, doing this all stuff, cracking the Pepsi. Just have you be Cindy Crawford.
I'll be Cindy. Like, what is?
Yeah,
that?
and she'll be just looking at you.
Yes.
Oh Lord! I mean, Elvira would be the best at that.
If Elvira is looking at me drinking a Pepsi, then Cindy should come up from behind Elvira and just say to Elvira, like, "What the hell are you looking at?" And and they should both know we need T and Slaughter and Elvira, and we can't do Pee Wee Herman because he died, but he was alive in the past, but that's different. And
well, we can
have him walking out of a movie theater.
No, get Alf, whatever. CGI him.
CGI Alf in there. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
See, again, all these commercials that we come up with, we just.
And how about this? I'm eating the sandwich or drinking whatever the product is. And Mr. T looks at me and he says, "You know what, Bob? I do have time for your jibber jabber." Like, all right.
All right.
I love it. And then that's a commercial lead into like a nice, you could have, again, your own AMC with Nicole Kidman. So we go from your Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero into your little Nicole Kidman AMC. Welcome to the theater.
I do believe.
It'd be perfect.
In my own delusional mind, I do believe I should be in all of these.
Yeah, well, you should be. What do you mean delusional? You should be in all of them. We're going to find a way. If I have to make all of these commercials myself and just put them on YouTube, that is what we will do. It's
got to get done. I don't really know. And they're dropping. I mean, that's the thing. There's no more Pee Wee. And Max Headroom was never a real guy. So they're all dropping off.
Johnny boy, what do you got? What commercials what other celebrities can we get before they go into some commercials with Bob Hansen?
Oh man. Dolph Lundgren. We can get that. I don't know what commercial it would be, but maybe Dolph Lundgren and then maybe some Hulk Hogan. Well,
I think I've passed.
And then we'll dress you like Sylvester Stallone and just have them beating the shit out of you. I don't know what commercial it would be, but
Hulkster and Macho Man's dead. I can't do that. Bret Hart would be a good one, but Roddy Piper's dead too. Everybody's dead. God damn it.
I know.
Okay, well, here we go then on our paranormal investigation with our charcuterie board snacks. What dead wrestlers do we all want to be having conversations with?
Oh, yes. Randy Savage, Roddy Piper, easily. No, hands down.
Guys, I'm going to call in Andre the Giant.
I was wondering, yeah.
Andre, come and talk to us. Tell me about filming Princess Bride.
I don't think Andre would like me. Also, you couldn't understand a word Andre said. That's that's what would make it difficult. He was not a great orator.
Well, okay. What, you don't think Andre would like you?
No, I don't.
Why?
I think he was very selective. He was a private guy, irritated easily. I don't think Andre would be amused by me. I think me and Randy Savage would do very well. And Roddy Piper, I met. We actually got along quite well. So.
Okay.
Oh, well, maybe it'd be easy for you to call on Roddy and be like, Roddy, could you please just have a conversation with Andre real quick? Let him know I'm cool, I'm chill. It's like we could have a rock and rad time, bro. You crack a beer, I'll crack a beer. It'll be great.
I think if you walked in with a 30-pack of beer, Andre Giant would be your best friend.
Yeah, for about 6 minutes. Until
I was going to say, until it's gone.
6 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, he had a heck of I watched a documentary on him one time.
And crush beer.
Well, and could drink cases of wine at a time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jake the Snake used to be his driver. So he had in the Jake the Snake documentary or whatever, he told stories about Andre the Giant.
I mean, be careful what comes out of Jake the Snake's mouth. He's a worker through and through. I don't believe, honestly, in 1980 anything that Jake the Snake Roberts was responsible for driving himself or anyone anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
I think Jake is lying. But I think the legend has it was that was it Gary something? One of the referees was his main driver, and Bobby Heenan probably as well for a bit. I can't think of that guy's name. I wasn't prepared for that. But either way,
You weren't prepared for the pop quiz on Andre the Giant lore.
No, I was not. And you'd think
So sorry. I mean,
wouldn't be too
we
much.
keep you on your toes on the Day of Fun podcast here. We want to know
Right.
what kind of trivia you got.
There is the famous Andre story, and this has been beaten to death, but I think with wrestling fans anyways, I think your audience will be okay with it. This is when you could drink more freely on airplanes and whatever. And Andre asked the flight attendant, which they were not called at the time, but he said he wanted a drink. He wanted a screwdriver, and he kept saying, and she didn't understand, and she didn't know that was an adult beverage. So after like him getting agitated and many times, she finally comes back with a literal screwdriver, the tool, not thinking he wanted to fix something. And he looks at her and he says, "What would you do if I ordered a Bloody Mary?"
No, my God.
Great line.
Great line.
Jokes.
Andre. Jokes. I love it.
He was so big.
Well, yeah, there was that story about people were like fucking with him at a Waffle House, and he flipped their car when they were in it.
Oh.
I don't know if that was real or not, but you never know.
I think there was 4 guys in London that were messing with him, and he put their car on its roof and he spun it around or something. There were a few people I think he dunked in an ocean or two.
Yeah, I've heard that one. That story, I know that.
Yeah.
He dragged couple of guys out into the ocean.
And by the way, the couple of guys I think were the couple of guys were like 6'4" and like 280.
There were other wrestlers that were messing with him, and he was
the
he'd
couple
been drinking
of other
a lot.
giants in our
A couple of other
That's just
giants that he drug into the sea.
He just drag a guy like and dunk him. Like no. There was
I think one of the things that I remember is when he had to get surgery, and they were trying to figure out how to do the anesthesia for him, and apparently, that like they were trying to work out how would they figure out, and so like the anesthesiologist person asked, like, well, okay, how much alcohol does it take for you to get drunk? And he said it took a bottle of vodka for him to feel warm on the inside.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, a bottle of vodka to him is a 20-ounce Pepsi to me. You know what I mean? It's just nothing.
He had the beer can in his hand.
Yeah.
Which is, think about that. God, that's a hand. Yeah, it's not normal.
I haven't watched wrestling in a long time. Do they still kind of lean into the whole
He doesn't
giant
wrestle.
thing? No. I'm just saying, like nowadays, like wrestling, do they still really lean into like the giant kind of like people, like as much as they used to?
There was only one Andre the Giant. So, I mean, there's still big
It
guys.
was like
but
Henry. Mark Henry was huge.
Big Show.
Like,
He's still
Big
physical.
Show.
Big Show would be those guys are still around. I mean, they actually started fairly young. So I think both Mark Henry and Big Show specifically, they're probably barely 50. They're right, early, maybe mid 50s at most, but like they're not that. Big Show actually probably younger. They've both lost some weight, and I don't think their Big Show's moving around that great. Doesn't look like, but they're doing okay. They're working, but they're not wrestling at all. Definitely not full time, or not really doing much of anything like that. They're just around offering expertise and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, I remember the big thing was Mark Henry and Mae Young. I remember when they just beat that horse to death. Every week they were dating. And they're like,
that's an era that fans, or I guess mainstream casual fans, whatever, tend to glorify. And then because they always think, oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Austin Rock. This was great. And then there's so much other stuff that.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
You look at the old Attitude Era stuff, there's some things that I'm like, you could not get away with that now anymore. That whole storyline and that.
I think part of the thing was you couldn't get away with it then.
That's fair. That's true. That's why they had to keep, rebranding, as it were.
Yeah, it was very much their name. It was very much theater instead of like wrestling was part of it, but it was
like.
Very
okay, see, now here we go, though. You're going to shift my brain again. Now you say theater, and then I think the backyard wrestling stuff that the South Park kids did and how they made fun of backyard wrestling on South Park.
And as they should have. Backyard wrestling should be outlawed. Some
should
parents
be outlawed?
Yeah.
Tell us how you feel about backyard wrestling, Bob Hansen.
I never liked it. I had a little bit of pride being trained by off of the Wild Samoan, trained correctly way back when, 20-something years ago, that it was just, I mean, also in backyard wrestling, no one knows anything. No one knows what they're doing. Everything looks bad. There's no, it's not just the super dangerous stunts, but it's like watch them throw a simple punch or a kick or grab a hold. It looks like garbage. The matches make no sense. It's just kids playing on mattresses and trampolines and doing dumb stunts and filming each other and having a laugh. But no one's it's just not, no one's trained correctly. No one knows what they're doing. It's people goofing around.
What I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts on ECW when that came out?
I was a fan because I was a teenager. You know, I was the right age. I was the perfect age to be a fan.
You were the target audience.
I was very much the target audience, and not a lot of yoga pants in the ECW audience.
No, not a lot. But you know,
there was
hey, how times
in the
change.
ring. There was always spandex in the ring for half the time, anyway. But yeah, not a lot of yoga pants. And I was of the perfect age of the you know, the young testosterone fueled. We want violence and blood and guts. And
the table ladders and chairs matches. There you go.
All that
That's
stuff.
Basically all it was. It was like all the angst without really anything.
There were definitely great athletes here and there, and all that kind of stuff. But I think everyone with real talent in ECW in hindsight never stayed there too long.
No, I think like Sabu, he was very like athletic, but I don't know how he would have
loved Sabu.
Me too. Or the Sandman when you'd come out and crush the beer on his head. I mean,
yeah, I had a bad incident with the Sandman in a roller skating rink in Tamaqua in 2002.
You tell what? I must know this story.
I was planning a tag match. Two of the younger guys, it was their high school. I guess they'd graduated high school that year or the year before, whatever it was. This was in June. It was probably just graduated. I just graduated college, so I guess I had 4 years on them. And it was kind of like their home, you know, obviously their home base or charity thing. Me and my buddy Nicky, we were the goofy bad guys and everything else. And we had some guests. We had a few guests. We had Kamala, the Ugandan giant. We had the Sandman on that one, and I can't think of anybody else of note in that one. Maybe that was the weekend we had Luna Vachon. I don't recall. Close to it. But the Sandman he cornered myself and my tag team partner to give us veteran advice, but he was very drunk and he had his 8 or 10-year-old kid carrying around his 6-pack for him. And the rest of the locker room was laughing at us as he told us to do or mimic all these sexual acts in front of this audience of family and kids at a roller skating rink in Tamaqua, Pennsylvania. And he said that would get us the heat. You know, you pretend, I'm being careful with for the live stream here, but you pretend that you're doing this to him, and then you start doing that to him, and we're looking at it, and we knew he was insane, and we
knew he was insane. Well, I mean,
we wanted to get away from him. It was like 2 years earlier. If you had asked us, you guys want to talk to the Sandman and get advice, we would have jumped at it. And this was like, don't meet your heroes, because 6 minutes into this hour-long diatribe, we're like, I never want to speak to this man ever again.
Yeah.
But Head Shrinker Samu, I'm going to drop more names just because that's what happened. I think he had told me or Nicky or both. He said, listen, just use one of his ideas to shut him up and do whatever you need to do out there. Because he had said many times, I'm going to be an intermission. You know, you're right before intermission or right after or whatever we were. He's like, I'm going to be out there. I want to watch. And we're like, oh.
Yeah.
No, good God.
I think that seems to be like the big consensus with Sandman too, is he was always drunk or he was on mushrooms or something like that. He wasn't in the ring very often sober, like if at all.
One of our guys, he wrestled one of our top guys that night in something with a ladder, and our guy just honestly just bashed him with the ladder a bunch, and then Sandman, I probably did like one thing and pinned him, or I really don't remember, but it wasn't anything really special. It was just like, hey, whoever. You can get some extra tickets in there, get some extra tickets in there. But don't meet your heroes, I guess. But do get in a commercial with Elvira and Mr. T and Sergeant Slaughter.
Yes, do if you can. And Cindy Crawford and Nicole Kidman. And I think it's going to be a brilliant commercial. I can't wait for us to get that out onto the YouTubes. Everyone's going to love it.
I was going to say one more guy from ECW too that I love to watch, just because every time he came out, you knew it was going to be something crazy, as New Jack.
Oh, he's dead.
Well, yeah, he's dead. But the stuff.
We'll talk to him on the Ouija board.
he was like more of the extreme, like I'm gonna jump off a section of the bleachers onto concrete from 40 feet.
He fell
Well,
into a trap and he did it once, and then everyone wanted to see him do it forever. And it was like, now they feel ripped off if I don't do it. Is the way I think. And then that was ugly, but
yeah,
that was the blood and guts portion of the show for sure.
Yep.
Gross.
Good.
No, I was gonna say blood and guts portion always makes me go to, of course, Mick Foley as a favorite. Like, how do we get Mick Foley worked into a commercial?
I would love to do anything with Mick Foley because he's just a charming gem of a wonderful human. So that's why. And I was a Cactus Jack fan, and eventually a Mankind, Mick Foley, etc., etc.
Dude, love all of it.
What was your favorite one out of his three?
Hard because as a teenager, especially pre-WWE, I was such a big Cactus Jack fan. I thought he was the cool ECW Cactus Jack was my favorite Cactus Jack. I didn't think that was going to come up today. Honestly, that was funny. But
you didn't think we were going to talk about Mick Foley? Surprise!
No, it was funny. But Mick Foley is such a charming guy. My buddy Michael Mercy, who runs a great toy nostalgia YouTube channel. He lives in Ontario, Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. He had mailed me a signed Mick Foley autographed book just a couple of months ago, which is a very wonderful gesture. So he'd be Foley's a solid dude. There are times where in recent years he'll turn down some somewhat seemingly profitable projects just because they get in the way of some scruples, and he seems to be one of the last guys out there with some scruples. So I appreciate Mick Foley.
Yep.
I've heard such good things about Mick Foley and everybody. I actually met someone at a bar in town here, a bar restaurant in town. I was out with some friends of mine, and we just like randomly had a conversation with this DJ person who was running a bingo thing. That's what we were doing. We were playing some kind of musical bingo. And I don't know how the conversation started, but I said something about wrestling and being a wrestling fan. I don't know what came up. They mentioned that they met Mick Foley because, and I can't even remember how it went, but something about how like he had a show, I think somewhere here that was canceled, and like got on social media about going to places to eat, and they made a joke and said, come over to our house for spaghetti. And he messaged them and was actually like, oh no, I would do that. And like actually went over to their house to have spaghetti. And they were like, and he was the nicest guy and just hung out with us. And like, and the next time he was in town, texted us. And I was just like, that's the best. I love that. Like everybody will give you like, these are the restaurants you could go to, but the person who says, come over to my house for dinner, Mick Foley's like, yes, I will come to your house for dinner. And that's my new fan. Like, I love it.
I think it's because it was a free meal.
Well, sure, there is that, but I mean,
has a reputation for being notoriously cheap, and I kind of think he saw free meal. Well, the hell with paying.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what? I guess if you hang out and be good times and fun sauce when you're hanging out, I'll give you a free meal. I mean, come on, y'all, Johnny, Bob. If that was all it took to get Mick Foley on the show, I will make some spaghetti.
Well, like there was a few times. I'm not a huge fan of like his wrestling and stuff like that. I think he's probably, I don't know. I kind of stopped watching when he started, but Brock Lesnar, I've met him a few times. He used to do a lot of meet and greets up here because he's originally from. He's originally from your neck of the woods. Like he's from Lemon, right?
I don't remember if it's Lemon. It's from South Dakota. No, wasn't it? I thought it was
Webster or something like that. He went to college in Bismarck.
Yeah. No, but he's from South Dakota.
Well, like Bismarck,
make up cities.
We just make up cities.
Those aren't real places.
Well, he got a scholarship at
BSC,
Bismarck State College, and then before he went to Minnesota State College. Like when he went to Minneapolis, that was when he started collegiate and all stuff.
Bob Squad. Mud Butte is a real city in South Dakota, and it has a population of 3.
My God.
Says it on the population sign and everything. Welcome to my neck of the woods, Bob Hansen. Come on out for some paranormal investigations. It'll be spooky sauce.
Well, my hometown only has 800 people, if that. It probably doesn't even have that anymore.
Not anymore.
Blink and you'll miss it.
Yep.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Not that we want you to be afraid that this is the children of the corn kind of situation out here. Please do not be terrified to come out and visit.
I have a question about the 3 population. Mud Butte, whatever it is.
Mud Butte.
Mud Butte?
Mud Butte, South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Do the 3 people know one another? Are they friends? Are they neighbors? Are they related? Are they?
I'm not sure. I've just driven through it myself. I'm from here and I don't know. I've just driven through it and saw the population
changes from 3 to 4 when you drive by. 99% chance some type of incestual situation has happened.
Or somebody just graffitied on there and changed it. Put a 1 in front of the 3.
It's like in Arby's, they just have somebody out there changing the sign every time.
Or you know how some people make year-long, they take a picture. There's some viral thing going around. Some lady took a picture of her parents every year, and then it gets sadder because then it's one parent and then it's no parents and everyone's really sad and the music is sad and blah blah blah. How sad would it be if every year someone took a picture of the thing and the weather is slightly different, but it's pretty much the same picture, and then then a couple photographs go by, it says 2, and then there's only 1 year where it says 1, and then the next year it says 0.
And it's a ghost town.
Everyone, because they just keep dying.
Well, nobody's moving in.
Yeah. Well, there's a town right around my hometown that has 11 people, and it's just, I don't know. They have a post office, they have a bar, they have things in the town. It's
because that's all you need. When there's you got a couple of farmers that need a bar to go to after work and a post office to send things.
If you walk into this post office and you're the 11th person online, that line will never move.
Well, you probably
who the hell is working there?
They're not used to seeing people at all. Well, I think it's closed down as of now, but I think it was open 5 years ago.
Well, okay, let's say one person in the 11-person town works at the post office. If that guy, and I don't mean to assume gender, who cares right now at this point? But it's just 11
There's
people.
Only 11.
But if that guy's sick, there's no post office.
There's no post office.
Federal holiday.
Yeah,
it's probably like when that I don't know if you've ever seen House of Wax, where that guy walks into that church and everyone's kind of just staring at him. It's probably like that kind of situation.
I've never seen it, but I heard it was and again, I don't want to exaggerate, but arguably the greatest film ever made.
Arguably the greatest film ever
up
made.
There. It's definitely
up there.
But they have a thing in the newspaper around my hometown that basically there's a section where it's like you write in whatever you want. But I always make fun of it because it's basically whoever came over to whoever's house and ate supper that night. It's that's printed in the newspaper.
I mean, you got to have some kind of news or something going on.
Yeah, it's
but that's Mick Foley went to that town and had spaghetti there. That day would be a holiday.
He would be king of that town forever.
Yeah,
he'd probably never leave.
Well, that's how we get him on the podcast.
If he gets all these free meals, he's not going anywhere.
Well,
we can make you king of a town in North Dakota.
Yeah, I think you could. There was a time in Lair that you could buy a house, and it's not a nice house. Don't get me wrong; it's dilapidated. You're basically buying the land it's on, but you could get it for $2,000. So
that ain't bad though. Real estate investment.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it is in the Arctic.
It's like the first Superman. Lex Luthor's bought up all the desert at a really cheap price, and then he put a bomb in the San Andreas Fault to put California into the ocean, so he'd own all the beachfront property for pennies on the dollar. And Superman had to stop him before he flew back in time to get Lois Lane out of a dirt slide or something.
Yeah.
Well, going back in time, Superman sauce. I love it. There's a callback.
I was going to say, and then Lair's one of those towns that you would have to boil the water before you put it in your Brita bottle. So.
Well, that's just because you'd burn your tongue and your insides.
Oh, God. I don't even want to know what's in that water.
Well, I guess
probably
you
melt the pot you put it in.
Down, yeah.
Yeah.
Boys, I love where all of this ADHD conversation has gone. We've started at Target. We got through some wrestling. We've gone all over the map with some holiday movies. Bob Hansen of the Bob Squad, comedian, friend of the show. Tell everyone where to find you, where you're going, where you're going to be. Where should people be buying tickets to come and see you rock and roll daddy?
I can dig it. Well, if you have any San Diego people, this Friday, Saturday, I'm in Comedy Heights at Lestat's in blah blah blah. Where am I? Normal Heights is the town. Just go to my Instagram at Bob Hansen Jokes. The posters, the flyers, my link tree from the bio. You know, I have one of those.
All of
Every
them.
Wednesday.
Links are all in the
Yes.
description. Y'all popped them all down there.
Every
so go
Wednesday in
check 'em
San
out.
Diego, we're in Ocean Beach, at Lazy River Comedy. You want to go check that out? All that, yeah, at Bob Hansen Jokes. Got all my stuff there, and blah. I think it's the same thing on Twitter, and I'm on the Blue Sky as well. I forget what it is. I think it's the same. I'm probably not too hard to find. I'm on the popular thing and the Book of Face. We're on that. But yeah, Bob Hansen Jokes, Instagram, and TikTok. I think is it's Bob Squad 22. I think is TikTok, but it's the same stuff there anyway.
We've got the links in the description for you.
Oh,
I know.
thank God.
Don't worry, but we do just like for our audio files to be able to hear it and know, like, hey, you can look it up, or you can go to the link in the description.
That's right. That's right. And I'm sure they follow you on the social media platforms on their mobile devices as well.
On the mobile devices, on the YouTubes, on the intertubes, on all of the
satellites and ones
digital
and zeros.
multiverse.
It's binary.
Binary. We're cracking the code. We're breaking the algorithm.
Binary computer stuff.
Yeah. I do have one more question before we send you off.
Absolutely.
So, in your area, who is an upcoming comedian that everyone should be on the lookout for?
Bob Hansen.
Well, of course.
Why on earth would I say anyone else?
Of
Why
course.
would you say anyone else?
I was gonna say besides yourself.
No, screw them. Bob Hansen.
Screw them, Bob Hansen. Bob Hansen needs to have all the headliners, and we need to get him into the Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero commercials.
I would never in a million years.
We're here. Bob Hansen's here promoting Bob Hansen all day, every day. That's what we're doing.
That's an effort, but
A for effort. I love it. And that's why we got the A team on the Mount Rushmore.
Oh, yeah. The literal A-team. Okay, never mind.
The literal A-team. Yes, on Mount Rushmore. It's just the A-team Mount Rushmore.
George was kind of a jerk, though. I don't really know, but oh well.
Oh well, that's
well.
Okay.
I loved it that this plan came together. How about that for closing it up?
I love that this plan came together as well. Thank you everyone who joined and left us some comments, and thank you to everyone who hangs out watching later on. And Bob Squad, Bob Hansen, thank you so much for joining us on Day of Fun again.
Rock and roll, Daddy.
Rock and roll. We will catch y'all in another one. Have a great night, everybody.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.